everyone, hope you all are doing well. Welcome to the English Academy. In this video, we are going to cover one of the classic poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and the poem is Rain in Summer. So without wasting time, let's move to the poet's introduction. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow was born in 1807 and he was died in 1882. Was born in Portland in what is now called Maine, USA. He published his first poem at the age of 13 and 2 years later entered Borden College, where he was a classmate of Nathaniel Hawthorne, who also became a famous writer. For many years, he was also a professor at Howard University. His best remembered works include the narrative poems The Song of Hiawatha and Paul Revere Wright. Let's start with the stanza number 1. How beautiful is the rain after the dust and heat in the broad and fiery street, in the narrow lane, how beautiful is the rain. This stanza is very simple and easy one in which poet is praising the rain after scorching heat. He is so happy that the rain falls, and these lines from Longfellow's Rain in Summer capture the sheer beauty and relief of rain after scorching heat, as I told you before. The poet emphasizes how refreshing the rain is, whether in broad and fiery street or narrow lane. That's mean wherever the rain falls, it has the same impact. It brings joy to us with it, highlighting its universal impact. The repetition of how beautiful is the rain underscores the joy and gratitude felt. Students, as you all know, that when the rain falls, when it is raining, so we all become happy because rain is something that actually suddenly changes your mood, right? How it clatters upon the roofs like the tramp of hoofs, how it gushes and struggles out from the throat of the overflowing spout. Across the window pane it pours and swift and wide, with a muddy tide like a river down the gutter roars the rain, the welcome rain. These lines vividly describe the rain's intensity and sound. Longfellow compares it to tramp of hoofs on roofs, emphasizing its rhythmic clatter. The rain's force is captured through gushous struggles out and roars, creating a lively, almost chaotic image. Obviously, when the rain falls, when it creates sounds wherever it is falling, right? So, poet in this stanza trying to convey through his words the sound, the atmosphere that is created when the rain falls. Despite the chaos, it's portrayed as a welcome rain. Obviously, when rain falls, there somewhere there is muddy, somewhere it is a sort of dirty as well. But after all, it is welcomed, highlighting its relief. The imagery evokes a sensory experience of the downpour. I hope that this stanza is clear to you, everyone, in which poet has described that when the rain falls, what sounds come and what is the situations all around us, but still we welcome the rain. In the country on every side, where far and wide, like a leopard's tawny and spotted hide, stretches the plain to the dry grass and the drier grain, how welcome is the rain. Students, these lines describe the parched countryside, comparing the dry plain to a leopard's tawny and spotted hide, vivid imagery highlighting the land's dryness. If you have seen leopards somewhere, so there are some patches on its skin. So poet has compared the land to its patches, that how the land is dry when it is not raining. The rain's arrival is welcome relief for the dry grass and drier grain, emphasizing its importance for natural's revival. Longfellow contrasts the desolate landscape with the rain's rejuvenating impact. Obviously, before the rain falls, everything is dry, everything is dull, everything is muddy, and it's dirty as well. But when the rain falls, everything's washed up, and there is a very good weather, a very good atmosphere all around us. So Poet is saying that after the rain falls, the dry grass becomes, becomes green, lush green again, and we are having a very good weather. In the furrowed land, the toilsome and patient oxen stand, lifting the yoke encumbered head, with their dilated nostrils spread. They silently inhale the clover-scented gale and the vapors that arise from the well-watered and smoking soil. For this rest in the furrow after toil, their large and lustrous eyes seem to thank the Lord more than men's spoken word. Students, these lines depict oxen working in the fields, passing to relish the rain's relief. Oxen works hard in the field, and they are also, tired, and they also want rainfall. As they lift their encumbered head, they breathe in the clover scented gale and vapors from the refreshed soil. They actually, right here, poet is talking about the petrichor, or the smell that comes before the rain falls. It attracts everyone towards it, and we quickly guess that the rain is about to fall. So the oxen's large and lustrous eyes seem to silently thank the Lord after the rain falls for the rain's respite, suggesting a deep wordless gratitude for the break in their labor. Obviously, oxen cannot speak as we do, but their eyes are expressing so much gratitude, so much happiness. And poet is saying that oxen eyes are actually thanking the God for the rainfall, because they are also tired of the scorching heat. They work hard in the field. Obviously, they want something to get freshen up, right? Longfellow beautifully captures the animal's connection to nature's revival. Rain is not only important for us, but it is important for animals as well. They also feel the same way as we do. They also get tired after working a long time in the fields, on the dry grass. So they also want this revival of the nature. Near at hand, from under the sheltering trees, the farmer sees his pastures and his fields of grain as they bend their tops to the numberless beating drops of the incessant rain. He counts it as no sin that he sees therein only his own thrift and gain. Students, this is the last stanza of the poem, in which poet has tried to depict a farmer's situation. This part shows the farmer observing his fields rejuvenated by rain. Obviously, farmers are the ones who work in the fields. When it is not raining, their fields get dried. The grass is dry, but after the rain falls, everything's glow, everything turns into lush green, and it rain actually rejuvenate. That's mean freshen up all the things. Sorry. So farmer is observing his fields. He sees his pastures. Pastures means an area where there is grass, and fields of grains thriving as they bend their tops to the rain, symbolizing growth. When the rain falls, farmers' grains are also thriving. They are flourishing. Right? The farmer views the rain's impact as beneficial for his thrift and gain, implying he is relieved and hopeful for a better harvest. You know that crops needs water, and when the rain falls, they actually got the required one. So farmer is also happy, and he is hopeful that he is going to have a very good harvest this year. Longfellow portrays the farmer's practical appreciation for the rain's boost to his work. So, students, it was all from the poem Rain in Summer. I have explained you all the stanzas individually. I will also share with you the central idea and the summary of the poem. If you still have any query, any question regarding this poem, you can ask me in comment section. Till the next video, take care. Bye bye.